the boss babe, Kealah. Almost forgot who I was.
And I'm Bond Girl Jessica.
And I'm Girl Boss Lena. And you know what that means. It's
Whine
Whine
Down
Down
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Excuse me. So unladylike. And ladies, though, today we are going to do a little bit of a different spin. So we are all business owners, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
We've all either are in relationships, have viewed, or maybe our parents' relationships or the dynamics of other people's relationships. And I wanted to talk a little bit about women. And it's so cliche to say, but women's empowerment and like celebrating us and kind of like breaking those traditional roles and yokes that we kind of find ourselves falling into.
Mhm.
One of the things I like to say is, ladies, we are made to, or expected to, I should say, family, home, take care of the house, the kids, the laundry, the cooking, the fill in the blank. Like we don't have jobs outside of the house and work just as hard, right? Maybe more overtime, earlier hours, whatever. Then we're expected to come home and do that same family and house and laundry. Like we haven't just like we're almost damned if we do, damned if we don't, right? We're expected to do both equally. Whereas our guy counterparts just kind of like when they come home, most of them like they kick the feet up, you know what I mean? They get the remote, they might plop in their favorite
Or the
chair.
remote.
Double oh heck yeah, that's the other, or that remote. That remote, that's the big one, right? Um, and we don't really get that break. As soon as we come home from work, it's like, okay, here are the kids here, tag your, and your mom roll start, so we don't get to start. So I would just kind of like, what do you ladies think about that? How do you feel about that? Do you, I don't know, have you seen that dynamic in other relationships, that you've seen? Have you experienced some of that in your own relationship? I've been retired for a long time, so when I decided to start my business, it's like potty training all over again with my husband this time, not the kids. Honestly, he's used to me being available. He's used to me answering the phone. He's used to me being at home, used to me having access to me, and or me doing, cooking dinner pretty much 5 to 7 nights a week. You know what I mean? Or handling the this and the that. And when I started having my own business and doing my own thing, it kind of like became almost like pouting, like, what do you mean? He'll call me, do you know where the salt is? I can't find it. It was on the shelf with my barbecue stuff. And I'd be like, really? You're calling me or texting me for this? And I'm in the middle of get off my phone, right? It was almost like he was handicapped all over again. That's why I said it was like potty training all over again. So I'm just curious, did your significant other like embrace your business side lady stuff? And, do they support you, or, have you seen that in your other family dynamics or other people that that you don't really want to say their names or whatever?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I haven't, it's hard to say I haven't experienced that. Definitely, in some cases, have. Um, Working full time and running a business, and then coming home, helping with schoolwork, and then doing regular like house stuff. But where I feel like my husband has definitely seen all the hard work that I do, that I've been doing, and is like, you know what, it is a lot. And I think we had a we had to have a parent teacher conference with our kid,
Mm-hmm.
and she was talking about all these different things, and I think it finally dawned on him like how much. He was like, I had no idea you were dealing with all this. And I said, yeah, because he would, happened to be home, so he went and did the teacher conference with me. He's like, I had no idea you were dealing with all this. And he was like, I will make sure that I help you with that. And I appreciated that, because I think
Right.
sometimes when you, because we're so efficient at what we do, I
We
think
make
that
it look
sometimes
easy.
make it look easy, and they don't understand what we're doing. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever seen that old, like it was a long time ago, like on Instagram, where like the guy is like, hey, I put this dish on the table and then it magically disappears. And it's like every time he's like, you ever see the magic coffee table? Like any dish I put here magically just disappears. Like the next day I come back and it's gone. Like he was like mind blown. And this wife is looking at him like, boy,
Are you an idiot? Right?
you know. So it's like I really feel like it's like that sometimes, that they don't see that, but then when they do see it, and you're working hard, like I'm going to bed, I'm tired, I don't feel like, I don't want to people anymore, I don't want to deal with anything.
Right.
Now you're seeing why, because it's like you guys go to work and you work all day, but kids have, if you have kids, they have doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, teacher conferences, homework to do. And if your wife works,
Personalities.
personality disorders, I mean, differences, whatever,
Not disorders. I said
behavioral
have
problems.
their own, their own personalities to deal
Exactly.
with.
Literally. So sometimes I feel like the dads kind of miss that part of it.
They do. They do. They
And
do.
then when you get home, it's like, okay, everybody's hungry. I'm getting home from work. I'm tired. It's 6 o'clock sometimes. And then it's like everybody's hungry. Okay, gotta cook something. Then it's like,
Right.
okay, the house needs to get clean. Gotta clean something. Then it's like, okay, I'm running a business. So I gotta business something. So it's just it's like,
Right. Yes.
and I think sometimes they miss the details of it, because I think we're almost too efficient at what we do. And we carry a lot of the weight, and sometimes they don't see that.
Now, Jessica, I know you aren't married, but in your relationships, how does that affect your relationships with your significant others like that? Does it, you running a business and kind of like not always being available? Do you think that some men are kind of like put off by that? Because I feel like as strong women, you know what I mean? Sometimes men kind of like, they would rather have somebody that they can kind of, I don't want to say manipulate and control, because that's a bad word. Those are bad words to say. That's not what unless it's that kind of manipulate and control. But we not. Jessica made the face. She went there first.
Jessica always making faces.
Yeah.
Jessica stay making faces. Jessica.
Well, I mean, but the truth of the matter is, some people, that is what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They like to control and manipulate. For me, in some cases, I've seen both sides of the coin. So it could either be they find out I have a business, they think I'm rich,
Girl,
or
bye.
find out I have a
Oh,
business
she's
and then they
the
think I'm
Jessica mama.
and they think and they think I'm broke and I need help, which they then turns into, oh, I can control you with money.
You're a rescue case, and I can right.
Yeah. And then again, going back to what Kealah said, a lot of people will look at me, whether it's men or women, they're like, oh, you're doing all this stuff and you must have it all together. Uh-uh. I ain't got nothing together. I don't know what I'm doing. But, the fact that we make it look easy,
Easy.
we say we're so efficient, people think we do it. And I'm like, it don't work that way all the time.
Half the time the house is on fire.
I have a meme that I put up that cracks everybody up. It says, I'm just over here running a tight shit wreck.
Okay.
That's
about it.
So how do you feel then when the opposite sex kind of, I'll say, belittles your business or what you do? Have any of you encountered that?
So I haven't had the opposite sex do it, but I have had the same sex do it. Like, I hate when people refer to my business as your little business.
Little business. That's why I said
talked about that last year in our podcast, and how that absolutely irks my nerves, because I'm putting everything in my little business.
Right, right.
And it's not a little business to me. I have long-term goals. I have short-term goals, but I have an end goal of
Right.
where I see myself and my business and what I want to do with it. And even though it doesn't look like much to you, it's absolutely something to me because I'm building to something, right? I'm building a foundation every day, brick by brick, and
Right.
I'm doing something that's going to
Right.
be, long lasting,
Right.
not just a fly by night. I've been in business
Right.
for almost 10 years. So yeah.
And your business is,
Travel Fly Adventures. Yes. That
and
is
you can find her at
www.travelflyadventures.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Travel Fly Adventures, and you can find me on Facebook at Travel Fly Adventures. TikTok too.
Yes, ma'am. I love it. I love it. What about you, Jess? You were nodding your head that you've had some digs.
I mean, when I started I started freelance when I was 17. So I've been doing this stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
So if it's not because I'm a woman, it's because I'm young. I've had clients come at me thinking they could flirt their way to free products. I
Not
have,
flirt.
yeah, I had a guy he offered to take me to dinner because he thought he could get a free website. And I'm like, I don't even like you. Why would I
No.
do
Hold on. I'm sorry.
that?
Can we back this up? I need to hear about this. This is story time. I'm sorry, Jessica. Story time. You can't drop a nugget like that and then just try to
She
gloss
just
over
tried to
it.
skate right on over that
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. He invited me out to dinner. He's going to get some free website. No, 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 baby. I need to hear the story.
I went to meet with him because I remember my dad went with me, and my
Aw.
dad was in the car, and I just, it was right there. So we talking, and I give him my quote. He's like, "Oh yeah, I love to work with you." Blah 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 blah. So we get to the end, like outside, like he's right at the edge of the door, and I'm on the porch part. And he's like, "Yeah, we'll have to set up another meeting," and whoop whoop whoop. And I noticed in my young, naive mind, I'm thinking he's just looking at me because he's excited. He's looking me
Well,
up
he
and
was looking
He's
down.
at you because
looking
he was
at you.
excited,
Yeah,
right? He
Oh,
was
he wanted
excited,
more on
yeah,
a
right?
website, baby.
right. I'm young and dumb, not paying attention. So he's like, "Yeah, we'll have to meet up again and we can talk about everything." And I was like, "Yeah, cool." So I'm walking to the car, and
Mm-mm.
my dad is like, "Oh yeah, how'd it go? Whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, well, when you have another meeting, I'll come with you." In my head, I'm like, "Oh, he wants to be a part of what I got going on." No, he saw the man watching me walk away, and he's like, "No, I'm not gonna
I
play with
need to.
you." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then the guy texts me. Mind you, this is the same guy that thought my name was JD Scribbs. This is the same guy. So so
I'm
he
done.
texts me for the next meeting.
Look
And
at
I'm like,
Lena's face.
yeah, did I tell that story? I thought I told that story.
Oh, what?
Not JD
Yeah,
Scribbs.
because he got my card like out of a
Did he
First
restaurant.
of
want
all,
some
you
hot sauce
can't
with that?
read. So first
I
of all,
don't
you
know.
can't read because it's not scripts.
Yeah, because he's like,
First
"Yeah,
of all,
your
did he
name is
want
your
some
last."
hot sauce with that? Because it's giving scripts.
Yes, because he was like, "Your last name is Scribbs." And I'm like, no, I'm confused. Like, okay, no. But yeah, so he after that meeting, he had texted me and was like, "Yeah, we'll meet up such and such time." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll meet you back at your office." And he's like, "Well, no, I actually was thinking we could meet over dinner." And I was like, "No, I can just meet you at your office." And
Keep it
then
professional.
somehow he called me, and it was some other guy. Like they're in their 40s at this point, and I'm like 20.
Oh, yeah, dirty old man for you.
Yeah,
Listen, Linda. I don't like that.
yeah,
No,
it's weird.
I
And
mean,
so,
wow,
I
she's
know. Compared to her,
early
yes.
20s. Yeah, that's what
uh,
in comparison. Girl, how
and
old are
then
both y'all put together? What did you say? Come on now.
right, he calls me, and it's like another man's in the background, and it's almost like they think he's talking to like somebody he's dating, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, no, I didn't want to go to dinner. Either I'm meeting you at your office, or we're just not doing this. And then that's when he was like, well, what about the website? We can exchange? No. So I had to
Barter?
totally, yeah, a date for a website.
And cease and desist.
Oh God.
So
No.
I've had that. Then I've had women, because I remember I had a lady. She was early. She claimed she tried to work with, young entrepreneurs. I made her a whole site. She didn't know what she wanted, so she didn't like it. You know how people are
Yeah, I
sometimes.
do. I do.
Like a year or so later, she calls me and she's like, "Yeah, I just wanted to check on you." I was like, "I'm good." And she's like, "Yeah, have you gotten better?" I was like, "What's that supposed to be?" She would go into detail because she knew that I knew what she was talking about. But I'm like, if you're gonna be bold enough to come at me with that, you better be bold enough to explain
Back
yourself.
it up, right? To say what you mean to
Um,
say.
and two, I'm just like, you want to talk because I hate to say it, but you don't have a good reputation either. So
Here's the
my
thing.
work's for itself.
I'm going to
So
interject here
well,
because if you don't know what you want, I can't
I
tell you.
can't give it to you.
I
Yeah, I
can't
can't give
give
it to you. If
you.
you don't know.
I can't give it to you. And that
Mm-hmm.
happens to me even in my business as well. When people don't
Mm-hmm.
know what they want and they want me to all of a sudden, I've never talked to you before. I don't know you. I don't know how your life is. I don't know any of those things. But you want me to whip up this magical thing like I'm just supposed to know who you are and what your tastes are
Mm-hmm.
based on muy poquito information.
I'm so confused.
Girl, bye.
So
Go ahead.
no, this. So first of all, Jessica, what's your business?
JD Scribes.
And it can
What
be
you do?
found at.
jdscribes.com, at jdscribes on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and TikTok.
Make sure you put it in there because I don't want nobody looking up JD Scribs.
Some of y'all are not so literate out there.
JD Scribs. Did she say ribs?
And are you? So she actually asked you if you've gotten better.
Can't.
Did you like
You know
hang
what?
up your face?
No, because I'm petty.
Oh
So,
God. Oh, here comes the petty Betty.
so yeah, because my how's your clientele? Because I knew at that point she lost a lot of customers
Oh
because her
no. Hold on. Not the straight face. How's your clientele? Have you gotten more or lost any more?
because I knew it got so bad she had to move to a new building because she couldn't afford it. I knew what was going on, and that's what I'm talking about. Don't come at me
You know
crazy
what?
because I'm gonna
Where's
come
the
at you
teacup at?
crazy.
Because this tea is definitely getting served hot. Look at that pretty teacup.
Yeah, that's cute.
She's spilling that.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've had a lot of people come at me crazy, but the one that really burns my biscuit is you ladies know that how hard I work on my tea parties, right?
Mhm.
And, I have since switched from, I still do my business and I'm business savvy, but I have now embraced my full tea party queenness, right? The tea party ladiness. So you see behind me, I have racks of stuff. I've got parlor chairs, Chippendales, giant teddy bears, sets of teacups, all kinds of stuff. I
I
need
love
it out of but I need it out of my third bedroom and I need it out of my dining room.
it.
Like
Mhm.
it's expanding, And so I actually went to a banker gentleman this past week, and he is part of a business alliance that I am part of.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to put everything out there, but whoever's watching this, if you know me and you know what I'm talking about, then yeah. So anyway, this particular bank is part of this business alliance, and we meet once a month, and we rotate to different establishments for people in the business alliance that we're in. They tell us about their business. We eat, we drink, camaraderie, network, socialize, all that kind of stuff. So I've been to that particular bank twice on this networking circuit. And I've seen him around at some of the other ones that we've been to. So I actually approached him, and I know a banker that works there. I know her pretty well. We're pretty friendly, her kid, all this kind of stuff, right? Shout out to you, girl. So anyway, she's like, yeah. Talk to my boss. Da, 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 da. I talked to him. I'm asking him two things. So I got my tea party coming up. One of the biggest things I need is bodies. I need like volunteers to help me with like making sure when they're taking pictures with the giant teddy bear, they don't rub their makeup all over it, that nobody runs off with like my real minks and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, we need people at different stations. The registration station, you know, if people want to take pictures with whatever, we take their camera, you take pictures. I need bodies like staff. And I was told by my girlfriend that she that's what they do. They can put it up on their website for the bank, and they can have people actually register to volunteer, you know, to help out on that for that event or whatever. So that was the first thing I asked him. So what he proceeds to tell, and I have a whole sponsorship brochure, mind you. Like, I'm legitimately, like, you know what I mean, there as a businesswoman in businesswoman capacity. He proceeds to tell me how his mother is like 80, 81 years old, and he tries to spend all the time with her, all these special holidays with her. And yeah, I see your face, Kealah, and that, you know, he's not sure what he's doing on that day, and that all the other people in the office have moms and mothers, and, you know, if they don't have them with them, then maybe they've got children, and that he wouldn't feel right asking them to come out on that day. But if he's finished with his mom early enough that, you know, he could probably come over and help. And I'm like, that's not what I asked you. I feel like you totally disregarded everything that I said. Right? And so I was like, all right. So let me try this on for size. I'm looking for retail space, right? So I go through the whole of what's in Atlanta and the surroundings, what's not in Atlanta and the surroundings, what I'm looking for. We talk about, you know, me considering even a HELOC on my house for loan purposes. You know, we've talked about all this other stuff. And he basically was just like, he poo-pooed on the amount that I made for the business for the year, low-key poo-poo on it, right? So what he says is, well, when you make that amount each month. And then he told me I had a very interesting business model. And I was like, little white man in tiny, tight pants. Kealah. What are you I was like, if my name was whatever, dude name, Brian, Jordan, even my husband's
Don't throw Jordan into this. That's my husband's name.
No. I'm saying if Jordan went into the bank and said, hey, I want to start a, you know, a whatever business, and, you know,
I think the appropriate name would be like Josh.
What? Skip. Brady. What? I don't know. Insert a name. You know what I mean? But I was so thinking, like, and I said to him, I was like, you know, people don't start restaurants out of their house. They don't invite customers to come sit at their dining room and eat. People don't start car dealerships out of their house. They don't, you know, start selling them out of their garage and stuff like that. I'm like, I live within a city proper, which means I got code enforcement driving around. I don't have an HOA. I got the city driving around. I can't have signage. I can't have traffic to my house. I can't have any of that because I live within a historic downtown city proper, right? And so I'm like, I need a space that is not my home to do this. And what are we not understanding here? I didn't say that I didn't have the income to do it. I didn't say any of that. I'm asking you about the feasibility of different programs, whether it's, you know, the HELOC, or whether it's owner operated property, whether it's in that sale, whether it's rental property. I mean, I'm asking him about all these different things, and you're telling me that's an interesting business model. Okay, well, how come out all these damn taco places are cropping up? All these little used auto car places are cropping up. They're all competition for each other. What I have has no competition. What are you? So I'm interested.
Feel like, you know, his response is interesting.
But
right.
That Sounds like some hateration.
It's a lot of bias.
A
And
lot.
when you're doing stuff like that, it's not about what you think about the business. Look at the facts. Look at what you got
That's
going
what
on before
my
you do it. I don't care what you're doing. I just need to know you can make money off of doing
But the thing about it is, didn't nobody ask your little raggedy self to show up? I'm asking you to have somebody else show up.
Oh, and that too. I can't. And after you
Like,
finish with
bruh,
your
I don't care
mama,
what. Never mind. Let me shut up.
okay, I went there on a business
Didn't
meeting.
nobody
I
ask you
don't
all
know
that,
you
homie?
personally. I don't know your family. I'm not asking you. I'm
I'm not
asking your
asking for
company.
any volunteers at the daggum bank time. I'm asking you to find volunteers.
it.
And
Like,
I said to him,
That's it.
my banker girlfriend, teller friend here, said that was, you know
something
what I
that
mean,
y'all
the
do.
norm, that you guys will, put it on your site to partner to solicit. I was really
Yeah.
like, like, so those are the kind of things that I'm finding in my business as I've grown. I'm coming into more and trying to scale up. Those are the types of things that I'm running into. And it's a lot of it's coming from guys though. You know what I mean? And maybe it's because, I'm the little brown girl in the South. Maybe I'm not asking the right people, you know what I mean? But a small bank that is supposed to be in the community
Here's the
and
thing.
knows that I am part
Banks
of it.
always been
Like,
kind of like haven't banks always been kind of notorious for shutting people down though when you come to ask them for things? Like they're always like, give me your money, let us make interest off your
right.
money. But then when you're asking them for something, they're
No,
very
this is the
shifted.
outreach. This is his retailer is in his title. Retail, he is the guy for retail expansion for businesses. That's what
This
I'm
is
saying. That's in his
literally
title.
making my eyes itch and twitch because I cannot.
Do you think because it's in Georgia? You think it's
It could be.
it's South? Because I'm like,
Well,
somebody told
the
me,
South,
girl,
the
it's
South is the South. Y'all deal with a little bit more than we do in California.
different.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
it's
do,
different.
there are things that we deal with in California, don't get me wrong, but I
Yeah.
feel like some of that discrimination is more prominent
And
back
I'm
then.
like, I mean, so it's not only brown, it's woman, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like
How old
I
is this
start
guy?
talking. He's probably like in his 40 something,
Oh, then he's
maybe.
like literally,
Yeah,
bro.
some of it just the
You need to
good
get
old
out of that.
boy too. So it's
What'd
like
you say, Jen?
I said, some of it is a lot of good old boy type of behaviors.
Yeah.
Like
Network.
if you're
Yes.
not their person that they like, or they don't want to fool with you. So that could be
That's
something he
true.
because I think there's a lot of bias because his
Yeah.
response was dumb, but it could be some bias and some good old boy stuff. Because if you were connected to one of his Josh and Skip and
And
whatever
they came
friends,
in backing me, then
mhm,
Just
it
the way
would have
you
been
said skip.
what a
Skip.
fabulous idea. Oh my God.
right, it would
I
have been a
wonder if it
different
would have been
conversation.
different if you had your friend go in there and talk to him. Is she of the lesser melanin variety?
No, no. And she's
Love how you said that.
and my girl is hella gangster. Let me tell you,
Okay.
I don't know where she's from. She has a real twang twang. So she might be
Not a
somewhere like
twang twang.
Mississippi, Louisiana. No, I mean, Georgia is country fried, but they ain't got nothing on Mississippi and Louisiana with that twang twang. And you know what I'm talking about, right, Jess? The twang
No,
and
I
the
don't
twang
know.
and the
I
twang
know what
twang.
she's talking about because sometimes I can't understand what Jessica's saying, and she got a slight twang. It's not even a
Titles.
twang twang, it's a slight. I'm gonna need
I'm used to it now.
Jessica like what captions rolling across the screen
Have you
when
ever
she's
seen the movie
saying,
ATL? When they're in the car and he's like, yeah, and yeah. What did he say? He was like, yeah, shorty, da 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 da, going down on that, doing all that. And the guy was like, I don't know what the hell you just said.
I feel
Right?
it because
Because we need some subtitles below that. But
when
I'm like,
my cousins from St. Louis,
They talk
when
different
they
too.
get to talking, I'll be like,
what you say?
That's sometimes how I feel about Memphis. They got their own vocabulary too.
Their own dialect almost, right? You're like, I don't
Mhm.
even know that word. What does
Mhm.
that mean? So, but old girl, my bank teller girlfriend friend is real. And so two Hispanics tellers in there, and then the white guy, and then my girl is melanated, and she's hella funny. She was like, "Ooh, I just told them," and she's loud too, like me, my sister. She was like, "Ooh, I just told them a black woman ain't never alone. She always got some kind of white woman watching her somewhere, somehow." And she
I'm crying.
and she's so loud about it. She
And
just
she
out
don't
there.
care.
So, and she
Zero
don't care
cares are
at all.
given.
So when I came out of the office, she was like, "You okay?" I was like, She's like, "You ready to go?" I was like, let's go outside. She's like, "I gotta go anyway. Why are you going to go outside?" I was like, "You know what he told me?" She was like, "Oh." She was like, "He's not the one that you need to talk to then." She's like, "We gonna figure this out for you because that's not. So I think she was a little bit embarrassed and a little bit, you know what I mean? But yeah,
Which I mean, I get because she thought it was gonna,
different.
gonna pan out.
Yeah, well,
But
maybe he was
I
just
mean,
having a. Let's give him
I'm
the
not
benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was having a bad day. When you have a bad day, maybe he was having a bad day. Maybe
well,
he found out something in his personal life was, not
he
personal life at
down.
all.
No.
Yeah. No, girl, you gonna get this though. Like,
No,
and then
but
the
I'm
will
just
is a
saying
way.
the haters, you know what I mean? The little subtle digs. And I just feel like a lot of times with me, it comes from the male side. But all of that to say, Kealah, I know you are across the world from us in
I
California. And
know.
just you are a good few hundred miles from me as well. However, if any of our listeners are within the sound of my voice and want to come to my tea party, I would love to have you.
Where can we find it?
Tea Party can be found at www.whatspoppinUSA, and there's no G in that poppin. POPPINUSA.com. You can find us on Instagram of what's poppin _USA or Instagram at Hats and Heels Tea Party. Oh, so it is the 4th annual Hats and Heels Tea Party coming up Mother's Day, May 11th, here in Snellville, Georgia, which is right outside of Metro Atlanta. Come up to us. We're OTP, which is outer perimeter, which means less traffic. You don't have to deal with all that craziness. We've got plenty of parking for you. It is a women's empowerment tea party. We have etiquette lessons from the Regal School of Business. We have emotional and powerful, empowering, uplifting speaker, Alicia D. Brown. She is a Navy veteran. She'll be joining us. We have women veteran-owned businesses that are going to be there gracing you. We've got giant teddy bears. We have tea and tower service. We have Mama's Closet, where you get to come play with all of my minks and stoles and hats and dress up and take pictures. It is going to be a fabulous time. So again, come join me for tea.
I love it. I'm so excited for you. I wish
Yes,
I was going to be in the area. I'll be at Great Wolf Lounge.
yes, you're going to be
Kids, Great Wolf
cruising, aren't
Lodge.
you? Oh, Great Wolf. Yes, I know that
I'll be
place.
there with the kids.
Oh,
I'm momming. It's me and some moms are momming it up.
that is lovely. Well, if anybody would like to come to tea, again, www.whatspoppinUSA.com. And with that, ladies, thank you for chatting with me today with this episode. I had to get some things off of my chest. I had to, as women,
Clear the
sometimes
air
it's difficult. Yeah. You know what I mean? We face challenges that
all the time.
the guys can face, and can be tough on us sometimes. And, when you don't have business besties, that's really difficult. My husband don't want to hear about none of this stuff. You know what I mean? My daughter's tired of hearing about this stuff. My son definitely don't want to hear about this. So I need some business besties. So I thank y'all for indulging me today.
Yes, absolutely. Because we are the business besties.
So until next time, y'all. Bye.
Bye.